Hey, welcome back to Left 4 Dead Garage. This has been a tough video to make. Partly my fault, partly technology failures on both ends, I guess. Not the way to kick off a partnership with a company, let me tell you. So I'd like to apologize for this video. It's probably going to be choppy, and also apologize to Evil Energy. Evil Energy has sent me a fuel hose plumbing kit, PTFE fuel kit, 25 feet fittings, and an adjustable AN wrench. So what had happened was, first half of the video was fine. I did an unboxing and talked about it. As soon as I went to go into the how-to assembly and what I was going to do with the hose, I had no audio. So I made a new back half of the video, and I went to edit last night and realized I deleted the entire front half of the video. So I had no first half of the video. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I can salvage this. So I got to give thanks to Amazon and Amazon Prime for saving my honey and getting this to me the next day, and I ordered it at 10 p.m. last night. So I'm going to go over what I've been sent and what I've done to salvage this video. So they sent me 25 feet, a 6 AN kit, and this super handy adjustable AN wrench, and it's pretty nice. Like, I've seen a couple of different kinds. There's some with the notches cut in it, which I believe I'm going to buy one of those myself. And they sent me this kit, but as you can tell, I've pretty much robbed this kit to no end. Let me show you why. In the beginning, this truck had a motor in it, and it was already plumbed for a fuel system, which is right here. So I did not need a fuel system, but PTFE hose can be used for nearly anything. So I was going to plumb transmission lines, and that's what I did. So as you can see, there's transmission lines down there, and they go all the way up through here into this transmission cooler on the truck. And then you'll later see in the video where I added this to create a back half. So now I'm recreating the front half. So what I've done, since I've pillaged most of the fittings and I'm down to just that little bit of hose, I went on Amazon last night and purchased this myself, just so I could show you an actual unboxing. So I'm gonna stick you on the tripod, and we'll open this box like I did a week or two ago, and I'll show you exactly what's in it and what it comes with. So unboxing here, you got 25 feet of PTFE hose, and I'll be honest, this, I've used two brands of this, one of which came with an EFI kit, and if you've seen any of my videos, you'll know what kit I'm talking about. And that hose was garbage, and that's actually what that fuel line is on my truck, and it actually may get replaced with this because the outer braid on this stayed put when you went to assemble everything and you weren't chasing the actual inner of the PTFE. PTFE polytetrafluoroethylene or something, I don't know. So 25 feet of hose. It's fabric braided over steel braided, and then you got the PTFE inner. This is -6, equivalent to 3/8 of an inch. So in a unmessed with kit, it comes with full instructions on how to assemble this and how to cut it. The way I cut it, I used a cutoff tool, a Ziz wheel, or a grinder with like a 32 thousandths cutoff disc, something quick. You can buy hose loppers. You can use a hacksaw, which, that does not sound fun. And it explains exactly how to build these hoses. In this second half of the video, I'll actually build one hose. So you have a tool, and that's, just use this piece of it. So what I did is, once I cut everything, I went back in there and I just made sure everybody was still round. And this kit comes with, I feel like, everything that you would need to plumb an LS swap. You got 245s, 6 straight fittings, no 90s. which 90s are sometimes helpful. These fittings here, you got 6AN to looks like 3/8 pipe, 2 of those. This is like a LS style quick connect. Let me see if I got a filter. So like this is a Corvette filter regulator, and that would actually snap into that just like that. It would snap right into a GM filter. May fit others, but that's your most popular. So you got that guy, and then you have, this is 3/8 and 5/16, so you have 2 3/8 style. I mean, I'm keeping this kit because I have a use for it anyway, so I'll just open it. And these actually would go on this end. So you'd unscrew this main piece, drop that in the floor, drop that on there, and it'll actually thread together just like that. And then you'll have another fitting that'll fit this smaller one, which is this one right here. So it's clearly enough to do an LS swap, you know, basic stuff, as long as you don't I guess add anything crazy in. You could use the straights on like a nice billet, like 10 micron filter or whatever, and yeah, it's a pretty nice kit. Off of Amazon it was $100. If you go to Evil Energy's website directly, use my discount code HG10, that'll save you 10%, but it has to be done from the Evil Energy site only. These are imported fittings, however I don't have a problem with them. Like, actually the threads look pretty good, and I'll be honest with you, the threads on the ICT adapters for that transmission cooler were actually much sloppier than these, and they did not seem like the threads were that deep. So, and those are, well, they're made here. But Evil Energy -6, if you're doing transmission lines, it's more than enough. If you're doing a fuel system, 25 feet. If it's coming from the back of the car with a single line, you definitely can do it in 25. If you're doing a full return and a full supply, you might want to get a little bit more. They do offer it, well, 25 is the biggest they get, but you can buy this hose separately. So if you're looking for a hose kit on a budget, and it seems to be pretty decent stuff, check them out. And we'll go into the last half of this video and I'll show you how to build one. All right, I gotta sort through a little disaster here. I was working on this video and it's probably 2 weeks late for turning it in. 2 weeks later than I told them it would be ready. But as I went to edit the other day, I realized I had no sound. I went through a whole process of telling you how about this hose and whatever I was doing, no sound. So I was like, great, the lines are already on the truck. So what I did is I ordered, and going through my hoard, as people say, but I say I'm resourceful, so there's a difference. I had a couple transmission coolers in stock, we'll say, and this is like regular Tahoe. This is express van, or no, like 1-ton box truck. So factory GM coolers, comes with these brackets. What will determine which one of these I use is what will fit in here the best. So I bought the GM Quick Connect to 6AN fittings, and then I will just use Evil Energy's hose and fittings, and we'll plumb this transmission cooler, and I'll just show you how to make the hose while I add the transmission cooler, and I get, you know, a video, because currently if you'll notice, there's nothing here now. So we have a transmission plumb for no reason. So we're putting a transmission cooler on a truck that has no motor, but I need to get this video done, so do what I can. I'm gonna get the grill out and we'll see which one of these coolers work the best. All right, space will not allow me to do much here. These 73 grills, they sit in, they're not flush like some of the later, I don't know all the grill features by year. 73 and 74, I believe, have that inset. So they kind of hog some of the room, and that guy was just too much, because I got room up here, but it kicks back kind of on this. Same way with that. I don't know if the grill makes up the difference or what the deal, but either way, this guy fit well. So what I've done is I'll snake it through there, and then it'll sit about right here. Now, I took some vice grips, these clamp looking deals, and then I just 90 those little ears right here, and then we'll get it in there situated, and I'll just drill through the radiator support, and we'll just bolt it straight through like that right there. Probably could see better if I didn't have all this junk sitting here. But and then as far as the bottom tabs, well, I don't have an answer for that just yet. More than likely it'll just get a tab here on the right for that centerpiece, and we'll just let this guy over here hang out unless I do a 90, some sort of adapter deal, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. There's some small brackets in there, but as long as the grill clears, we're fine. And probably need to keep it scooched over as far as possible so the lines will clear and give me room to route everything. So yep, we'll just bolt that guy up in there, and we'll go from there. All right, as long as the fittings will clear. This thing looks massively crooked, but I believe it's the bracket bent. But as long as the fittings will clear, I gotta trim this off. This was one of those 90-degree flat brackets from the Walmart hardware section. Now, let's see if we can put some fittings in here. We'll go 90-90, and I don't know where we'll come through at. Maybe, I don't know, we'll have to drill a hole somewhere right there and route some hoses through. So let me decide where we're gonna do that at. All right, let's see if we can get this finished up today. What I do last night, mounted this very crooked transmission cooler. It's crooked, not by my fault, but I guess I could space it out with some washers up there. Maybe it is my fault. Kind of drives me crazy, to be honest with you. But it doesn't look too bad crooked here, so I don't know. Anyway, the best thing to do is just quit looking at it. I'm pretty sure I can get both hoses through this. It's a 1-inch hole. If anything, I'll take the carbide burr and open that up a little bit. I wish I could have got in there with something better. Looking back, I probably could have used a hole saw. Either way, it is what it is. So this will be my in. We're going 45 in. We're going to straight out. I'd like to do a 45, but it gets in the way of everything. So, and I probably need to do a grill check and make sure I don't hit what I've got going now. And then we'll build a hose or two, and we'll call it good. All right, so I took the grinder and I squared this thing up. Thankfully, Evil Energy, this kit came with probably more than enough to fix my screw up, I guess you could say, or my add-on. Really, I don't guess it's really a screw up, because all I'm doing is adding to the deal here. So they sent this tool, and I guess that's just for making this nice and round again. You can use some cutters. They make some like lop and shear looking things to cut this stuff, but I don't have any. All I have is some keys to the city, some bolt cutters. So put your nut on. Got the nut on there, and I'm going to take this screwdriver and I'm going to separate the actual braid, the steel braid, and the fabric, the outer fabric, away from the actual inside, the PTF part of the because this little ferrule here must slip between the outer and the inner parts of this hose here. Now it definitely seems odd. I've done brake lines this way, but it is a different deal than regular AN hose, which I don't know, other than I guess the hose breaking down due to age or what fluid you're using. Now that inner, this thing's on there crooked for some reason. Now the inner will go clear up to a shoulder in there and bottom out. All right, so you got your nut on there. Personally, I put a little bit of something on these threads. So stick that tool in there, square that thing back up. Push that fitting into the hose and start threading this together. Ideally, you would have AN wrenches on hand. So it would probably be a good idea to have 2 of these, because the nut is different than the actual, or the fitting nut. The compression nut, whatever, is different than the actual fitting. So lock that down, and it didn't fall off, so we're good to go there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this through. This will go back to the transmission, and then we'll cut accordingly. And then the hose that's on the transmission that I'm removing, we'll actually cut that one down, and it'll be the connector from the outlet port on the radiator to the inlet port on the secondary transmission cooler. So let me go get us a mark, and we'll cut some hose. All right, I didn't show me cutting this one or assembling it, but I kind of rearranged my thinking. I was going to go straight here, but it was just too much going on right here. So I just let it swoop in behind this lower piece and let the 45 kind of, I don't know, it seemed like it was in less of a bind, and everything seems a little happier. So with this one, I'll probably do a 45 as well. That way it kind of swoops and turns. So this is the one from the transmission we took off. I'm gonna cut it on this end, because I'm gonna use the 90 to go back into the radiator right here. So it'll go through the hole, 90 to the radiator, and then loop through. So let me get it on the radiator, and we'll measure and kind of eyeball and see where we need to be. All right, so an educated guesstimation, I'm gonna cut it about right there, and that lets me loop down in there. I tried to cut me a piece of rubber and make me like a seal thing around that, but I managed to snake in the little 1-inch flap disc and kind of get in there pretty good and radius it, so it's not sharp at all, so we're good there. So I'm gonna cut this, we'll put the last fitting on there, and that'll be it. Alrighty, I believe I got her sorted out here. I had a little scare there for a minute, because I thought I missed a hose, and it turned out to be my fuel line right there, because I was like, oh God, what did I not plumb right? It's a total disaster right now, so we won't even talk about that. But got it in here. That crooked thing is driving me crazy, so I think I'm gonna shim it up at the top there. But got it plumbed, used 245s. It allowed me to loop down and not put everything in a bind. Like I said, that's radius. It's like there's no chance of hurting anything. The PTFE, it's a little funky to put together, but it seems like it works pretty well. Like I said, I may have said, All I've ever done is either push lock or the regular AN type fittings. So if you're interested in getting into this stuff, discount code HG10 on the Evil Energy site will save you 10%. I'd like to thank those guys for sending me this kit and allowing me to plumb my truck. Thanks for watching Left for Dead Garage, and we'll see you on the next one.